profound feeling of happiness, warmth and love, smiling as I looked up at the beaming faces all gazing down at me. That first experience of loving oneness proved key to my knowing what love should feel like. That fundamental emotional benchmark, set at such an early age, meant that I also recognised when things didn't feel right or measure up. Significantly, I was not in the company of any of my dad's family at such a joyous moment. Grandma Rarity was the mother of my mum's first husband, Donald, an RAF pilot. They had married in 1941 during World War II, but he went missing in action the very next year. Mum was heartbroken and Grandma devastated, as Donald was her only child and she'd already lost her husband after just 7 years of marriage. Mum was like a daughter to her, and Grandma like a surrogate mother to Mum, who had lost her own mother in 1939. Me and my sister became the much-loved grandchildren Grandma never had, visiting her in Nuneaton for weeks at a time. My dad seemed resentful of the closeness we shared. He never came with us and kept Grandma at a distance. Pam had arrived first in 1950, which is why expectations were high that I would be a boy. Consequently, we were both a disappointment to my dad from the start. He decorated the children's room with toy soldier wallpaper in preparation of his son's arrival. We often wondered why our bedroom had boys' wallpaper, but just accepted it. He finally repapered our room when we were about 10 years old, and the soldiers were replaced by red roses. I wasn't impressed, and kind of missed and preferred the soldiers. So, there I was, Christine, not Christopher. But Dad always called me by my second name, Carol, or my nicknames Tuppence or Sputnik. If I was in trouble, or to show his contempt for me, he'd call me Christine, almost spitting the word at me. All the various names he had for me, my sister was only ever called versions of Pamela, were like code names for his moods, and I soon realised this and responded according to the one he used. My mum always called me Carol, loved me no matter what I did. I was a bit of a hellion. Smiled and laughed so much with us when Dad wasn't around, and sang as she went about the house. Her warmth and loving tenderness were in direct contrast to Dad's cold detachment. When he worked night shifts, I'd cuddle up with Mum in their big bed and drift off to sleep. I'd sit at her feet by the fire, watching TV, and she'd stroke my hair for hours, unless my dad was around. Those affectionate moments between me and Mum were often spoiled by Dad walking into the room and fracturing the calm atmosphere with a brusque, "Get up off the floor," as if speaking to the dog. I only recall one time that he held me in his arms, when I was about 6 years old. I'd had some teeth out and was still groggy from the gas, so he had to carry me into the house. It wasn't a gesture of affection, but I convinced myself that he loved me nevertheless, because he held me safe in his arms, and because he'd bought me a bar of chocolate. Not totally appropriate when I had a mouthful of bleeding gums and couldn't eat anything. Mum married Dad in 1948. She was his elder by 6 years. They lived with Mum's father in Wadham Grove, Hull, until they were rehoused to Staveley Road on the spanking new Bilton Grange council estate, about 5 miles from the town centre. My parents' jobs meant we were one of just a few professional families amongst the coalmen, factory workers and dockers in our road. The Scott family lived next door to us. Mr. Scott, a burly but gentle docker, would painlessly pull my loose baby teeth out for me and give me a penny. The Scott family weren't there long, and the Smith family with their 8 children moved in. That brought a batch of new friends to play with, and Mrs. Smith's freshly baked bread. The smell from the oven was amazing, and she'd invite me in and give me a hot bread roll dripping with melted butter. Our neighbours on the other side, the Goodriches, were different. They were more middle class, and had an immaculate house and garden, and a shiny car. Owning a car was rare. I can only recall 4 cars ever being...